Shalom. I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rukat Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, alright? Shalom to the elect brothers out there, the hopeful elect. So this is Ezekiel, where the Spirit has me in chapter 9. It says, He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, Cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. Alright, let's see. Verse 2. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man was among them, was clothed with linen, and a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of Yahawah was gone up from the cherub. Alright? So, we're reading about a vision that Ezekiel had. So a cherub is an angel, alright? So let's read that again. It says, And the glory of Yahawah of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And Yahawah said unto him, alright, so this is talking about the angels when they're about ready to do destruction. Alright, Ezekiel had a vision that Yahawah Bashem Yashai gave him of the destruction of the people, the wicked and the 2/3, the heathen, all the ones that are going to be destroyed, whether it's going to be put to death, going to face, the judgment is going to hit them, whether it be the famine that's coming to America, whether it be, diseases, pestilence, you see, or whether it be the sword, which is the nuclear fire, right? But let's see what he does with his elect, with his prophets, right? So, we done plenty of lessons. The elect are going to be the ones protected, right? It starts out with the 144,000 prophets who teach this truth and this knowledge. You got to repent to have protection, and you have to be an Israelite, right? So there are prerequisites that are required, to be a part, to take place and have salvation and have protection from the Most High, right? Because he's gonna use the angels, and his son Yahushai are going to destroy this place. Okay, you're gonna need protection, man. The only protection you'll have is going to be coming from Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. So you have to have faith and believe in Yahushai, to be even considered. You see, and your works, you need to have works behind your faith, because faith without works is dead. If you want protection, you want that mark. Let me get that real quick. It's the mark. It's the righteous mark, right? You have the mark of the beast, and then you have the righteous mark. The mark of the beast, the ones who take that RFID microchip, hey, you're going to be part of the beast system. You're going to be destroyed. For the ones who repent, the 1/3, and the prophets who teach, we're going to have that thawah, all right, which is spoken of in the next verse I'm going to read, but give me just 1 second. Let me get that word mark in this verse. I'm going to read the verse, but give me 1 second. Let me see how the blue letter says it.
Strong's H 8420. Todd.
See, so this mark, this is a righteous mark, right? So it means a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment, all right? So if we're part of that number, brothers, if we're the elect, if we're the chosen of Yahawah Shem Yoshai, you're going to have exemption from judgment. So yeah, everybody's going to be judged, but there's going to be a group that has exemption, right? So that's why we're called the redeemed. One of the words that we call that the elect and the prophets are referred to is the redeemed, right? Because you're gonna, if you're you have an exemption from judgment. That means you'll be redeemed, even though we can't keep the laws perfect. We're not perfect in the flesh. People think just that because we teach this truth, that all of a sudden we're supposed to be perfect in the flesh, perfect keeping the laws. And they don't even know what perfect is because they don't understand the laws of Yahawah. They don't understand the ways of Yahawah Shem Yoshai, right? So, next time somebody gets mad at you, don't even trip because it's like they don't understand the scripture, They don't understand that, I'm not perfect. You're right, I'm not perfect. So, you think you're a prophet? And you do this, you do that, you're evil, I've heard it all, man, from whether it be family, whether it be, your woman, and being in this truth, man, the true men of the Lord, you're going to be catching hell on this side, man. Because the demons, they jump on these people around us and they're going to attack you, Spiritual. It's a spiritual warfare that we have, right? I'll get that too in a second. Let me read this verse. It says, and Yahawah said unto him, talking to the angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay? So, the prophets of Israel who are on the streets teaching now, that's what we're doing. We're out there sighing and crying for the abominations that are done in the midst of us, right? That's what that word midst means, the middle. Right in the middle of it. We're right in the middle of it. We see abominations every day, man. You got the homosexual crowd. You got the transgender crowd. You got the 2/3. You got the heathen, which 2/3 are heathen. But, their minds are so polluted that they don't have this mark that the righteous will have, right? The righteous has a mark, which is a mark of righteousness, right? The Yahawah, right? Not the mark of the beast, right? Not to be confused. There's two different marks in the scriptures. One mark is righteous and one mark is wicked. This mark that I'm reading about is a righteous mark, right? Let's read it again. And Yahawah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is a people for a place. So Yahawah is saying, go through all these people, my Israelites, right? And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? And he told the angel to set a mark on the foreheads, right? And remember, your forehead is where your mind is, When you believe things, you learn things. It all comes from your mind, right? So what's the mark in our forehead? The mark is the scripture. Understanding this Bible, part of it is knowing the names, the true names of the Father and the Son, Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahushai. All right, that's their true names. We have that mark in our heads. We're marked, you know. So in the process, hey, there's gonna be that mark. Like I read it in the blue letter. It tells you. Let me see. When you click on that word mark, it's H8427 in the blue letter. That's the number in the Hebrew, right? And it says a desire, a mark, and then the outline, it says a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment, all right? So that's why in this verse it's saying that the angel was told to set a mark. Why? Because the prophets and the ones who believe us, who believe this truth, who are able to receive this knowledge and this truth, you don't reject it, you don't try to, buck up against it. No, you become easily submitted to the truth because when you hear it, it resonates with your spirit, right? And, Lord's will, if you're part of the elect, you'll have that mark. But right now, we're reading about the prophets who are sighing and crying. He says the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations, right? That's why when we go out in the streets, we're literally sighing and crying because we see all the abominations. The people that are in Babylon, they've been softened up and they don't notice the abominations. They accept the abominations. They don't know the ways of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, so they don't condemn wickedness, right? Instead, they just accept wickedness, or they don't even consider things that are wicked to be wicked. You see? But if you're able to learn this scriptures, learn Yahawah Bashem Yahushai's ways, then you're going to know what an abomination is. Like a man who wants to be a woman and dresses like a woman, acts like a woman, does surgeries to try to become a woman, even though no matter how many surgeries you have, you're still not going to be a woman, right? Well, those are abominations. We look at that as an abomination, right? Let me look that up, that word abomination. Because we should always be, muscle memory, with the truth. Okay, so an abomination is a thing that causes disgust or hatred. A feeling of hatred. So it's an abominable, right? You're supposed to hate that. You see walking down the street, you see two men holding their hands. You're supposed to hate that. You're not supposed to accept that. See, but the men who are in this truth, we have that, literally that bugs us. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't sit well with us, But if you're not in this truth, then you're going to just be following the vibration that's pushed out in this wicked society, and you're going to end up, it's no big deal, it doesn't bother me. Just keep it over there, But no, you're actually supposed to be pissed off. You're supposed to hate that thing, It's an abomination, Let's keep reading. That's what we do when we're going out there teaching and preaching on the street corners. We're sighing and crying for all these abominations. Meanwhile, these other people are just walking around, the walking dead. You Israelites are the walking dead. You're dead, man. You're dead to the truth. You're dead to the knowledge. You don't have a clue who Yahawah Bashem Yahushai is. And then when you do learn who he is, you still don't really care, You still go on committing your abominable ways. You live your abominable lifestyle, your heathen lifestyle. You live life as a heathen, right? And just to remind you, the heathen, that just means other nations, right? So you people that are walking in the ways of the other nations, you're heathen, right? And you're going to die the death of a heathen, which is the death of a heathen. You got to believe and trust that all the heathen are going to be put to death, man. There's not going to be no heathen. Whether you're an Israelite heathen or you're an actual heathen, person from the other nations outside of Israel, your end is the same. Your end is death, right? Let's get that real quick. That's Psalm 73, right? Because it fits all the people who don't hearken to this truth, who don't believe the Lord's prophets. Because the Lord sets up prophets in these last days, right? We are definitely in the last days. If you don't think we're in the last days, then this lesson's for you, because you're going to get fucked up. This is Psalm 73, and let me see what 14 says. Alright, good. Okay, I'll start at 14. It says, "For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning." Right? It's King David. "If I say I will speak thus, behold, should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me." Right? So he was thinking about the children of the wicked, this wicked generation that, even King David, when he was an elect, and he would see the 2/3 and he would be disgusted, right? But he had compassion. He still cared about the people. Like us, we have compassion. Even you may see a person and they have like a zeal to an extent, and it seems like, they might be willing to listen to this truth and believe this truth and repent, and then all of a sudden you realize that it's not for them, or something went off, and you're like, that's 2/3, and ain't even worth explaining it to them. But yeah, we have compassion naturally. Yahawah, even Yahawah, he would hope that every soul would be saved, but that's not what the prophecy says. And, he's the one who made it that way. So let's read it. "If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until I went into the sanctuary of Yahawah, then understood I their end." Right? So until we, when we didn't know the truth, we didn't know the 2/3, about the 2/3, we were having compassion on people that we really shouldn't have, or we were praying for people that you shouldn't have, right? You don't want to pray for the wicked. And remember, our 2/3 of our people are wicked. So, no, you don't want to pray for the wicked, man. That don't even make sense. If you have family members and you teach them this truth, or they know about this truth, and they don't hearken, or they don't repent, or they don't believe, to hell with them, man. You understand their end now. Now that you're in this truth, you know that the wicked are going to receive judgment, right? You're going to have the wicked, and they're going to also receive that mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. So that's going to cause them to seal their fate, which is going to be death. And it doesn't matter, because right now we're in Babylon, America. Things are trickling down, all right? Things are going to get worse and worse and worse, right? like the inflation. The groceries are high. And everything we buy right now is higher, right? Even the fucking I like the what is it, chicken bowls at KFC. Man, those things are like, I remember I would order when it'd be like $5, right? And now those things are like $8. See, so everything is going up, right? And it's gonna get worse. You have truckers doing videos showing that a lot of these gas stations, these truckers fill up their rigs with, they fill up their semis with, and these gas stations don't have gas. And even in the city, you could see this. When has this ever happened in America? Where you go to a gas station, there's no gas. You go across the street to the other gas station, they don't have gas. You got to drive a little ways. You see the good price on the gas. You pull over. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get gas here, and then they don't have gas. So what's gonna happen when all these trucks are parked at these gas stations or stranded in the middle of the road somewhere, and they're supposed to be delivering you your food, This stuff is like all crafty counsel. The so-called white men who rules the government here, they're the ones who are designing this chaos that's going to become. See, we're setting it all up. The 2/3, you're the Walking Dead. That's another name for you, and you're not going to see it. That's why, as the prophets, we see this stuff because the Holy Scripture reveals to us things that are going to happen, right? And they are going to happen. They're already happening. Man, you fucking 2/3 are going to be fucked, right? You women, you wicked ass women who don't know how to fucking submit to your husbands. You don't know how to be a servant, a wife. And you hear these women hear that word servant, they freak out. It's actually good to be a servant, right? You please Yahawah when you serve your husband. See? And our people, no, they're too wicked, man. They don't want to listen to the truth. They get offended. They get mad at the prophets. They talk shit to the prophets. They call us all kind of bad names. They say that we're evil. They say that we got the demons on us when we know they have the demons. Their demons are attacking us. I know I'm not the only one who can say this. You got people around you. The demons jump on them and they attack. They know you're in this truth. They attack us. But before we realize the 2/3 are vanity, meaning useless, we used to have compassion for them, right? We would think, I'm gonna pray for that guy, or I'm gonna pray for her, or whatever, And you get in this truth, you realize, no, don't do that. That's their lot. That's the way Yahawah made them. He made them to be fools, which a fool just means non-believer. They don't believe this truth. So when we start to read the scripture, we realize that, okay, well, this is what's going to happen to the ones who have that mark. They're going to be protected, the righteous mark, and the ones who have that RFID microchip mark, the mark of the beast, they're going to be destroyed. So we stop having compassion. We stop worrying about the 2/3. It's all preordained. Yahawah, if you're a 2/3, Yahawah made you a 2/3. If you don't believe the truth that we speak, Yahawah's the one who made you that way. All right? Because there are men and few women that actually will believe the truth. Right now, that's why it's hard to say if the elect is sealed right now, because I don't see a lot of women embracing this truth and this knowledge. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to believe that the elect is sealed, because then you would see women, not just men, who would be really, really coming into the fold with this truth, who would actually. But see, at the same time, the woman, she's not. Her salvation comes through the man, right? And through childbearing. All right, let's get that real quick. 1 Timothy, because the prophets, we have that righteous mark that's going to protect us. And that's why we're called the redeemed of Yahawah. Because we're not perfect in the flesh, man. We can't keep the laws to perfection. We still sin. We're in the flesh. As long as we have this flesh on us, we're going to be subject to sin. All right. Our job is to endure, keep pushing, keep on pushing. People are gonna talk shit about you. People are gonna say that you're fucking wicked, you're a demon, you shouldn't, whatever. You gotta keep pushing. But this is talking about the woman, right? Let's start at 13. Or let's start at 12. It says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." All right. So you women, you're not supposed to try and have authority over your man. You're not supposed to try to control your husband. See, the man is the leader. All right. The Bible speaks about the order. Right. It goes Yahawah, Yahawah, the men, the women, and then the children. See, that's in the scripture. All right. So you women who will try to control your man, or you want to tell him, where he should work. You want to tell him, you get mad at him because whatever, you get mad for everything. Those type of women, you're going to be destroyed, man, because you're out of order. You're not supposed to have authority over your man, over your husband. You're supposed to be a submissive spirit, a submissive soul to your husband. See, and that's if your husband is in this truth. All right. Well, no, I take that back. Even if your man's not in this truth, it's you adorn yourself as a woman, being submissive, being a servant. Those are adorning things, meaning in the eyes of Yahawah, you're making yourself more beautiful when you are in order, right? So let's keep reading. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, right? See, because that's the order. Adam was before Eve, the man before the woman. Okay? Whenever the woman is first, or when she's in control of the household, there's sure to be chaos. Okay? Women are supposed to be instructed, right? They're not supposed to be the ones who are laying down the laws and laying down the rules in the household, right? Let me see. Let's get that real quick. It's in Ecclesiastes, aka Sirach 26, and it's the 14th verse. It says, "A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahawah, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed." Alright? So if your woman is silent, I mean, she's not always nagging you, she's not fighting with you, she's not accusing you of everything in the book, and that's a gift from Yahawah. If you have a woman that's silent, especially a beautiful woman that's silent, man, I haven't found one of those. But if you can find one like that, man, you're lucky, It says it's a gift from Yahawah. If your woman is silent, man, she knows how to when to speak and when not to speak. That's a valuable thing, man. You have so many women, they're the ones who think they're loud. They want to argue all the time. They want to talk shit to you. Then you have these women when they have husbands, and they come to the camps and they're with their husband and they want to do the talking. We're like, well, hey, let your husband do the talking. We'll deal with your husband. That's order, right? But no, the women, they want to be the one, because America is backwards. All the men are like pussies, and the women are bold and fucking, out of their minds, chaotic. So you see, it's a silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahawah. There's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed, meaning the woman, if she can take instruction, and she can take, you can teach her, you can tell her, how to serve you, how to be with you, how to love you. Well, that's a precious thing, man. A woman whose mind is well instructed. See? Let me go back to Ezekiel 9. Oh shoot, I didn't pull out the verse, did I? About the women being saved through salvation, because at the end of the day, it's the truth. You women are not you're not the ones who Yahawah Bashem Yasha is dealing with right now. He's dealing with his men, his prophets. But there's a few ways women will be saved during the destruction. They have to be cleaved or joined unto an elect man, all right? Or they have to have children by an elect man, all right? I didn't finish where I wanted to go, so let's go back. 1 Timothy 2 and 15. I didn't keep reading, I should have. It says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve, right? So there's the order. Shows you that the man is first and then comes the woman. 14, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression, right? So Eve, she was the one who was deceived. The serpent, which it wasn't a snake. No, it was that spiritual demon, Satan, which manifests himself as the so-called white man. He's him as the Edomite. He's the serpent, the wicked. He's the one who deceived the woman. He was telling her, hey, you could be just like Adam. You could be on the level of Adam, right? You don't have to be submissive. You don't have to, that's what he did in America. He gave these women so much liberty and freedom that our women are destroyed now, right? And it's been going on like this, man. My generation is where it really started getting worse, see? You have the women of my generation, man, these women brag about not cooking, They brag about they don't clean, they don't mop. They brag about that in songs that they have. But in actuality, you women, really, you shouldn't even be working because there's all kind of wickedness in the workplace. See? And women, their spirit and they're supposed to be instructed. So when they're around, wickedness or being a part of the society, being one of the boys or whatever, that's wicked, man. That's where adultery comes in. The women, their mind is, because women, they're not made to teach. One, they're not made to teach the scripture. They're not made to lead the household. You know, they're not made. They have a purpose, but these are not their purposes. That's why you have all this chaos in America, in Babylon. You know, you have the majority of our males, our male sons, they grow up only with their mother, right? So they're feminine, the men are feminine, they're emotional, you know, just like the woman that raised them. See? And it's a big ass mess, man. So, again, I'm going to say it again. Right now, Yahawah Bashem Yahushua is dealing with the men. He's not dealing with the women, right? But no matter what you women think, man, you can read the Bible all you want, but Yahawah Bashem Yahushua is not dealing with you. He's dealing with his men right now, right? His church is made of men. It tells you that in Revelation. It doesn't say women. And it's, hey, if you're a woman listening to this, don't take it personal. Just if you're humble and you want to be saved and you want to be a true follower of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, then just take it with a grain of salt, man. You know, don't get offended at the words. But if you are offended, then I'm not here to make shit up. I'm not making this up. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you what it is according to the scriptures. Revelation 21:3. And I heard a great voice out of the heavens saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahawah, the power is with men. I'm going to stop right there because that's the point. So, the tabernacle means church. The church of God is with men, all right? What is the church? You bet it's us raising up on our feet with boldness and authority, right? Teaching this gospel to our people. But it's not the women, it's the men, okay? And that's why it starts out with the men having that mark of protection in their foreheads. You know, you women, you don't believe, especially you women who deal with brothers in the truth. You get mad at him because he went to camp. You get mad at him because all kind of different things these women come up with. You know, we're out here doing the work of Yahawah Bashem Yahushua, and these women are only thinking about themselves. You know, they're not thinking like, oh, my man is righteous. Oh, my man. They don't think like that. You know what I mean? So, brothers, don't expect your woman, you know, just because you're in this truth to think you're so great, think you're so high and mighty, you know? Because they don't, this truth doesn't resonate with them 100%, right? They're not going to be saved because of the work that they do in this truth. No, they're saved by being joined to an elect man, either through marriage, which sex is marriage, you know. You don't have to go get a certificate from the so-called white man to be considered married. No, but you women are going to be saved through being joined unto an elect man. Another way is what I'm about to read. 1 Timothy 2:15 says, let me read 14 again. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's deceived you into thinking that you're on the same level as the man. You think Adam and Eve are right here. No, Adam is supposed to be higher up. He's higher in the order. These are the words of Yahawah Bashem Yahushua, right? These are not my words. And see, you got women, or anybody who's watching this, if you're emotional, you're going to be watching this video all pissed off thinking, oh, he thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's so great. He thinks he's a prophet. He thinks he's this. He thinks he's that. No, we're just reading according to the scripture. We already read the church of Yahawah is with men, right? Not women. How are the women going to be saved? By being joined to an elect man, all right? And you have to be with your husband. if you have because all these women have been through a lot of men. So it's through the mercy of Yahawah Bashem Yashai. If he gives you an elect man, if you women are out there are lucky enough to get a man of Yahawah Bashem Yashai, and that man loves you, and you stick with him, and he sticks with you, and you guys endure to the end, you will have salvation. But if you become like Lot's wife, and you turn back to the world, right? Then you're gonna have the same result as Lot's wife. Alright, because Lot's wife, what did she do? She turned back to the world. She got killed. She got put to death because she chose, instead of following her husband, right? We read it, a woman well instructed. So was Lot's wife well instructed? No, she didn't listen to him. She turned back to the city, right? She turned back to the world. Physically in the story, and then metaphorically speaking, right? Spiritually. She was like, I'm going to go back to the world. Mentally, right? She went back to the world. She didn't want to give up the lifestyle she had in that wicked-ass place, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And same thing now. This is spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt, right? So the same thing. You women who you don't want to be instructed by your husband, and you want to go back to the spirit you used to be in before you met your man who's in the truth. You want to go back to being, whatever it is, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is you women do, because I know y'all ain't innocent, right? But when you want to go back to the world, guess what? You're gonna have. We know your end, and it's not good, right? You're gonna be judged, man. Let's keep reading. Verse 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved. Sorry, the 15th verse. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. All right? And sobriety doesn't mean you're not ever drinking. That just means sober in this truth, sober in this knowledge, right? You're dealing with sound doctrine. You're dealing with a man who is teaching the scriptures correctly and not lying or twisting it, okay? As the men of Great Millstone, we don't twist the scriptures. We tell you the way it's written, all right? And because it's very controversial, because Yahawah, what he's doing is he's separating, which the word judge, it means separate. It's another word for it. So Yahawah Bashem Yashai is separating the righteous and the wicked, okay? And he's going to do it with judgment. And he starts out with his men, his prophets, because we're his church. So we come out here and we use the scriptures to judge. And it's not like we're saying, I'm judging you off the way you look. No, we're judging you according to the scripture. Meaning we're separating you. We say, this is what it is. This is what the Bible says. And you're like, oh, no, I don't want to get down with that. I don't believe that part of the Bible, Well, guess what? You just separated yourself, showing yourself wicked. Because why? Because you don't believe the truth. We're like me, I'm reading the Bible, and I'm in the spirit of Yahawah Bashem Yashai, okay? I'm not in the spirit of no Jesus Christ. I'm not going to twist the way the words are written. I'm not going to tell you lies and pervert the truth. No, we're going to tell you exactly the way Yahawah Bashem Yashai wrote it. Okay? So in the process, it becomes controversial. People get mad at you if you're teaching this truth correctly, right? With sound doctrine. See? That's why I say, notwithstanding, verse 15, she shall be saved in childbearing. So that's another way for you women to be saved. But through childbearing, it doesn't mean you just go having babies everywhere. No, if you have a baby from an elect man, from one of the prophets or one of the elect, that's your salvation. You have a man who comes to the prophets, and he understands and he believes and he receives the truth. that man too, he's qualified to save a woman. You know, you don't have to be a prophet. So long as you believe this truth and you're a man, you have a woman, she's has a baby from you, she's gonna be saved because of this verse we read. She shall be saved in childbirth, right? Or if she's already joined unto an elect man, you know, namely a prophet, right? She's gonna have that protection that, like we read in Ezekiel 9 and 4, when the angel was to put a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry. We're sighing and crying. And me doing this video, I'm sighing. It's a sign of mourning, crying, right? Like I'm crying out. I'm mourning because why? We mourn because we're fucking worn out in this place. You know, this place wears. If you're an Israelite, this place wears you out. Yeah, there's certain, even the celebrities, even the people with money, they're worn out. You know, talking about our people, you know, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who are famous or have money. Hey, there's a lot of them that are worn out, man. So this place is not our rest. It tells you that in Micah 2:10. This place is a place that's going to wear you out. See, that's why we're in our right mindset. As the prophets, we're like, fuck this place. We want to get away from this place. But you have the 2/3. They're like, oh man, I hope America gets better. I hope the C-19 goes away. You know, all that stuff. Because they just keep playing with everything. And now it's moving on to the inflation's kicking in. Famine's going to be kicking in a major way soon, Lord's willing. You know, very soon. So you women, if you knew better, you would be instructed. Instead of going off your emotions and going off of what you think you know, or going off because you read a few scriptures and you think Yahawah Bashem Yahshua is dealing with you. Well, you got to humble yourself in this truth. You know? Even us, even the men, we have to humble. Matter of fact, when you get in this truth, you're going to be served up humble pie all the fucking time, man. That's just what it is. Being humble, you know, that's okay, man. Humble yourself. The men and the women, we're going to be humbled, right? There's going to be a time when there's no trucks going to the Walmarts, no trucks going to the grocery stores, you know? You're not going to be able to just go grab some food at the grocery store. It's going to get bad. And if you don't have that mark, or you don't have that elect man on your side, then you're going to be judged by Yahawah Shemashah. Because we read it. The angel said, hey, set a mark, right? And let's go back to that and read it. Because I've kind of been all over the place with this lesson. But that's the spirit, though. Ezekiel 9 and 5. Well, let's go back to 4. And Yahawah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry of all the abominations that are be done in the midst thereof. And he said, and to the others he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. So, Salakia, I'm getting a little tired. But the men who have the mark, he commanded the angel to, you know, put a mark on him, a mark of exemption, right? Meaning we're not going to be judged. We're not going to be put to death. Yeah, we're going to catch hell, but we're gonna be able to endure, right? Endure that. But he said, go to the others, go to the city and smite them. And smite, that word smite means kill, slay, right? We'll read it, verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and began at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. See? So you people have this is proof that Yahawah Shem Yashai, he's dealing with the elect. It always starts out with his prophets. Right? The ones who have that mark in their foreheads, the men, we are the prophets. Right? We're exempt from judgment if we are in that number. But guess what? Old and young are going to be killed. So Yahawah, just because it's a sweet old lady, what you call a sweet old lady in America, right? That don't mean nothing. She's going to die in the midst. You know? Because the ones that Yahawah really, really loves and cares about right now are his elect. Especially the servants, right? The prophets. For the old people, the young people, there's a little 8-year-old boy. Seems like a good kid, right? Not too bad. Doesn't get in a lot of trouble in society. But guess what? He's going to get slaughtered because guess what? There's going to be kids that are not part of this elect. So you have a mentality in America where you're like, oh, let's save the old people. Let's save the little children. Let's save the women. Yahawah Shem Yashai, he said, I'm going to save my men who have the mark in their forehead. Right? He said, go to the midst and set a mark for all the men that sigh and cry. And let's go to verse 6 again. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. See, so he told the angel, you know, don't go any man, don't go even close, don't kill, don't go close to my men, to my prophets. That's that mark of righteousness that we have in our forehead, brothers. It's this knowledge, it's this truth. Us given the ability to break down these scriptures correctly, Lord's willing, the Holy Spirit's dealing with us, right? This causes us to have protection. And it's not gonna be like Esau Edom, right? Esau Edom, he wants to protect the women and children first. But Yahawah, he wants to protect his men first, okay? His tabernacle is with men. His church is with men. See? The women in Babylon right now, they don't want to believe this. This is why the women, the truth is really not for you, because when I read this scripture, you'll get offended if you're a woman that's not of the elect. You're going to get offended when I read what I just read. I'm like, oh no, women and children should be saved first. Not the men. Those are the men. They should be men. Let the women and the children be saved. No. Yahawah just told you, put a mark in the foreheads of the men. So you women that want to have salvation, it don't matter if you agree with this truth and this knowledge, but you better hope that you are joined unto an elect man who has that mark in his forehead, which is the understanding of the scripture, which is the wisdom, right? You better hope you have a man who has that mark. And you can't be going from rod to rod. You can't say, oh, well, I'm going to go with this prophet and be with this prophet. No, that's wickedness. That's adultery. Women who think like that, you'll be put to death. All right? Let's keep reading. Verse 7, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth And they went forth and slew in the city. So this is the same thing that's going to happen, all right? Ezekiel having this vision, and guess what? This is going to come to pass again. These death angels, well, they're righteous death angels because they're killing the 2/3 and the wicked. So Yahawah Ba'ashem Yashai, he has angels where their job is just to kill, right? And that's what he's telling them. Go ahead, slay them all. Just don't touch my elect. Don't touch my men who have the mark in their foreheads. The ones that are sighing and crying. Meaning, the ones who are sighing and crying on the streets. These other people, they're not sighing and crying. The abominations don't bother them, Like even in these so-called churches, right? The so-called white man's church, they accept everybody in their church. Why? Because they want to get paid. They want to get tithes. So therefore, you could be gay, go to the church. You could be a transgender, go to church. Here in this society, you could be a fucking chomo, all kind of wicked shit, and still go to these so-called Christian churches. But that's not how Yahawah Ba'ashem Yashai works, man. You people are going to find out the hard way because you're going to be getting slayed like we're reading. The only ones Yahawah Ba'ashem Yashai are dealing with right now are his servants, the prophets. Okay? And it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, Ah, Yahawah, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? So you see, Ezekiel, who is a prophet, says it came to pass, and all these people were getting slayed. He saw the vision in the end. They're just getting demolished, right? It says, and I was left, meaning what? He had that mark. Why was he left? Because he had that mark in his forehead. Because he was vexed by the abominations that he was in the midst of. Right? Just like we are. We're vexed by all these abominations. They bug us. When you really get in this truth and when you're really in the spirit, this shit pisses you off, man. Even when you getting your food served by a homo or a faggot or whatever, you know what I mean? Men are supposed to be men and women are supposed to be women, right? Those are wicked, nasty abominations that are done on this earth. And this place is getting proud as motherfuckers. They have Gay Pride Month right now. And these motherfuckers are proud. They're walking around. I remember back in the day they had a term called "you're in the closet." Nowadays, you don't hear that anymore because it's been pushed. The vibration of homosexuality has been slapped on you. Even if you're straight. Now the straight people, they're okay with the gay people. The gay people, they don't have no reason to be in the closet. Why? Because this place is embracing them right now. You don't even hear that shit no more. Oh, he's in the closet. Oh, no, they're flamboyant now. They're putting it right in your face, And everybody around us, because remember it says in the midst of all the abominations, we're in the middle of all this craziness, and it bugs us. But the rest of the people who are not in this truth, they're just okay with all of it. So those are those ones, because even though you're old, young, woman, child, if you don't have that mindset to say, oh, that's wickedness, instead you're over here, oh no, it's okay, I love hanging out with my gay cousin, or I support my gay cousin, or whatever, you know what I mean? This is wickedness according to the Bible. So you're going to be put to death, whether you're old, young, a woman, a child, You're going to be put to death. We know your end. Verse 9. Then said he unto me, The iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. And they say, Yahawah hath forsaken the earth, and Yahawah seeth not. See, so these people, that's their belief, man. Our people are fucking wicked as hell because they take on the ways of the heathen. I mean, you got a Edomite gay person, and he's, that's an abomination. The Edomite alone is an abomination. But then you take a Jake, who's a gay person, and those motherfuckers are the craziest ones. Those gay Jakes, they're like flamboyant, flashy, shameless. They don't care. They don't, like, people brag about that, right? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Well, guess what? You should give a fuck. You should have some integrity, You should be learning the ways of Yahawah Shem Yashai and hearkening to his prophets, listening to his prophets. That the Lord, Yahawah Hashem Yashai, set us up to do this work we do. It's in our spirit because of Yahawah. It's not because of us. It's because of Yahawah that we're doing this. Right? But this place is perverted. This place it's just fucked, man. This is a wicked ass place, man. This place is so fucking wicked, man. Sometimes I look at my little daughter and I'm just like, I feel bad for her because I know the wickedness that surrounds her, This world is wicked, man. Verse 10, and as for me also, mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. Oh yeah, but let me go back to verse 8. It says, that the Lord hath forsaken the earth, and the Lord hath seeth not. So that's the attitude they have. They're like, oh, the Lord, he's forgotten about you. Yeah, there's no such, Jesus ain't real, or that's what they say, which Jesus is not real, but that's because that's what they know as, they know Jesus. They don't know Yahawah Shai, but really what they're saying is Yahawah Shai ain't real. That's, if they knew that name, they would tell you that. But instead, they say Jesus because that's the false doctrine that they've been given. So they say, oh, Yahawah, or they say God forgot about this rule. And the Lord doesn't even see this stuff happen. How does he see it? You see, but that's not what it is. Yahawah hasn't forgotten about the nation of Israel. If he did forget, then there wouldn't be no prophets. And we wouldn't be here prophesying if Yahawah Hashem Yashai forgot about the nation of Israel. Alright? So verse 10, and as for me also, mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. And behold, the man clothed with white linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me. Alright? So, after the angels put all these people to death, they're going to be in the chariots. There's going to be nuclear fire, chariot fire, all kinds of just fire and brimstone, destruction. And right after it, guess what? The angels return to Yahawah and says, well, we did what we were supposed to. We destroyed this place. Alright? So that's what it is, man. With that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory unto Yahawah Ba'Hashem, Yahushai Ba'Hashem, Rekakudash. Double honors goes out to the other apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.